Keto Cowboy is not filmed before a live studio audience. The applause you hear is recorded.
Good evening, friends. Some of you know me as an electrician, some of you as a teacher, some of you as the voice of the Shafter General. Some of you know me as the Keto Cowboy. But tonight, in honor of the 90-second matchup between the Shafter Generals and the Wasco Tigers, join me as I take on the role of the General's cook. Hey Keto fans, so here we are, we're in the kitchen. We've got tonight's special keto treat, and it's going to be a blue tiger tip. That is a tiger tip brought to us by Tyson Page from the Cutting Edge Specialty Meat Shop on Norris Road. Can you see the tiger striping in this? It's beautiful, beautiful meat. Now this is a really simple recipe. I'm just putting a few things in here. I'm putting mushrooms, shallots, garlic, blue cheese, and finishing butter because it's delicious. And so like this garlic, you know, I'm just gonna kind of just cut it up a little bit, you know, just not a ton. And I'm gonna throw the garlic and the shallots with some finishing butter in a frying pan, and I'm just gonna saute it a little bit to soften this garlic up. And we're gonna mix it all together with the mushrooms. We're gonna stuff it inside that tiger and we're gonna cook it. And I just am so excited. These shallots, we're just chopping up just a bit. We're gonna saute these up a little and get them soft and cook some of that sharp flavor out of them. And then these mushrooms are gonna shrink when you get them inside that tiger. And so you don't wanna cut them up too much, just enough to, you know, where you still know they're there. Any of you non-mushroom fans, you obviously can put whatever you want in here. Sometimes I'm in the mood to put in bell peppers. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for mushrooms. That's the beauty of cooking tiger. You can really just cook it however you want. If anybody wants to know, out of the 91 games that we've played, Shafter has won 44. Wasco has won 42. And there's been 5 ties. So going into this Wasco week, Shafter is winning. And quite frankly, I just don't see the Wasco Tigers giving us any trouble at all this week. We're done chopping this stuff up. It was that simple. I'm gonna get these shallots and garlic in a frying pan. I'll be right back with you. So you see what we got here is we've got these garlic and these shallots just kind of being sauteed in this butter, and they're just about done. I don't want to cook them a ton because they're still going to cook inside the tiger. Okay, so here we are in the kitchen. We've got our slightly sauteed garlic and shallots. We've got our finishing butter. We've got our chopped up mushrooms. We've got our blue cheese. And we've got this big, delicious tiger tip brought to us by our friend at the Cutting Edge Specialty Meat Shop, Tyson Page, Shafter graduate, fellow tiger hater. Right now, we're going to talk about this when it's done cooking. But when people are cutting tiger tip, when people are cutting tiger tip, you find the grain and you want to cut against the grain. Against the grain. Step number 1, you want to cut a pocket in this tri-tip. Now, it's nice if your knife is curved with the tri-tip. Right, so what you want to do, now believe me, if this guy had sharper knives in this kitchen, I wouldn't have to do this, but he doesn't, so I do. You want to get that pocket cut in there. You do not want to run your knife out of this tri-tip because you want that cheese to stay in there. All right. That works pretty good. I'm gonna start doing that all the time. So sometimes pocketing meat isn't the easiest thing you could do. You want plenty of room for your cheese. You want to get your whole fist up inside that tiger if you can. And then you got plenty of room for your cheese. And I've got my slightly sauteed shallots and garlic. I'm gonna stick some blue cheese in here with that, plenty of blue cheese. You really just can't go wrong with plenty of finishing butter. And I love mushrooms, you guys know that. And so here's our concoction that I'm gonna stuff inside this tiger. Stuff as much of this in there as we can get, just as much as you can get in there. You know, and you can always put in more of some stuff and less of other stuff. So I got it stuffed. Now, we're going to hang this meat in a barrel house smoker. It's a really ingenious design of a smoker. They're available at the Cutting Edge, the same place where you can get this fine tiger meat. So you can go right in there and get your tiger, get your lamb, get your pork chops, get your tiger killer griller. You got tiger T-bones in there. You got tiger tomahawk, which is a beautiful piece of meat. My tiger tip is full of cheese. I'm gonna take a skewer stick, you know I like skewer sticks, and I'm just gonna kind of sew this thing closed. So now I'm gonna hit these things with some seasoning. This is Brother Ray's seasoning. Really like this stuff. And just like that, we're gonna take these two beauties and we're gonna hang them in that barrel house and we're gonna get them cooked right up. So here we are out with the barrel house smoker. Again, these smokers are so easy. I've got one seasoned tiger tip stuffed with a concoction of blue cheese, finishing butter, mushrooms, garlic, and shallots. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes. Just as soon as these are done, we're gonna pull them up and cut them up and we'll get them just right up inside our belly. So we got these tri-tips. They're cooked, they're dripping juice. They're waiting to be cut. We're gonna cut into these things. They have to rest. You gotta let these things rest. I pulled them off at about 125 degrees. That's medium rare. And I'm gonna let them sit for 10 or 15 minutes. And then that's gonna make them just a real nice medium. They're still cooking right now. These tiger tips, you can get these at the Cutting Edge Specialty Meat Shop. Good, delicious. And if you tell them that the Keto Cowboy sent you, Tyson will give you 10% off. When you're cutting a tiger tip like this, you really just wanna look for the grain. And so when you cut this, you want to cut it against the grain. So we're going to slice this thing up and Dennis, this is the dullest knife that I've ever seen. I would let a little kid play with this. And you see the sword?
Yes.
Enough?
Yes.
In general fashion, see right here, right against that grain. And let's just see what this thing looks like. Oh my goodness. Remember, I pulled this off about 125 degrees. I let it sit until it was about 130. This is our blue cheese stuffed, our medium cooked blue cheese, mushroom, garlic stuffed tiger tip. Well, let's recap here. I took some delicious Wasco tiger tip. I stuffed it with a mixture of blue cheese, garlic, shallots, mushrooms, finishing butter, and I hung it in a barrel house smoker for about an hour and 15 minutes. I pulled it out at 125 degrees. I let it rest until it was about 130, and I sliced up some delicious medium cooked tri-tip, tiger tip. So good. I hope you guys have a great week, and go Generals. Thank you guys, and like and subscribe so I can quit my job and do this for a living. I know that some of you tonight are thinking that I actually cooked and ate tiger meat. And to those of you I say, yes, I flew to India and I killed an endangered cat. I smuggled it back to the United States and then I ate it on the internet. Be outraged and like and subscribe to the Cooking with the Keto Cowboy.